What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I was thinking about guilds the other day, and something hit me, and it made me realize that there's so much more that could be done with guilds to incentivize participation and camaraderie and competition between guilds. And obviously, there's a lot of in-game things that I think could be added. We already have brawls. I think tournaments are something that could be there or added at some point in the future. There could be other just different things that add value overall to the guild experience. But one thing, and maybe this is me coming in from being a part of the creative team with Splinterlands, but if guilds were somehow incorporated into the lore, I think that could be so cool. And what I mean by that is if, right now we're in a position where, the team has not been putting out regular lore the way that they were last year. But my hope is that we can get to something like that in the future. And again, not because I was a part of that. I'm just saying I think the lore was actually quite interesting, and it'd be awesome if there were ways in which things could be incorporated into the lore. So for example, the team was releasing lore every week or so, right? Every week. So what if there were ways in which, like, every month in one of the lore stories, you got to have a guild that was featured, and maybe they would choose a guild that's like in the top 20, or maybe they have, if they're able to do like guild tournaments in the future where it's something like there's a guild tournament, every guild sends their champion, and the champion gets, called out by name and immortalized in the story that is Splinterlands that's being, told as we go along, and all this stuff is building out. So again, it's a very basic idea, but to me, one thing that I know would get, like, for example, my guild really excited about, or at least certain members of my guild, including Darkest Night, really excited, is like, oh, we need to get into one of these lore stories, right? We need to do whatever it takes. We need to make sure that we're maxing out all of our buildings. We need to make sure that we're performing well in guilds or brawls. We need to do whatever the activities are. To me, it's one of those things where, again, it's not a financial incentive, but there are a lot of people in game that want to have something immortalized within the game itself, right? That's the reason so many people bought all of those packs for Chaos Legion way back in 2021. So again, I don't know how Nate and the creative team would feel about this. This is just an idea that I'm throwing out there from my own opinion. But it's one of those things that I just feel like has so much potential because so many people care about where their status is cosmetically within the game and how they look, if they're at the top or where their guild is at. There's a lot of guild pride that actually exists out there in the Splinterlands ecosystem and universe. And so incorporating that into the lore and having regular, whether it's monthly or bi-monthly competitions, so that you just get a name drop, right? Like, it'd be cool if, in this lore story that's being written, it could be something as small as like the character's walking by and passes one of the buildings owned by Knights United, right? Or one of the things by Immortal Gods, or whatever the case is. And so there could be tiers to this because obviously everyone would be fighting for the top spot, but there's a lot of newer guilds starting out, and maybe there's something that's done for like smaller guilds or guilds between like 100 to 200 rating. So again, I don't know what this looks like. I don't know how it gets implemented. And obviously we're a little bit far away from actually having lore probably reinstated the way that it was before, where we get kind of these regular weekly lore stories. But if and when we do get to that point, I just feel like guilds can add so much value, and so much value then can also be added to guilds where it's not just about how much SPS can we make, how many, guild frays and brawls are we filling up and all that. It's not just about the competition for the financial benefits of, okay, we want to get the most SPS or the most merits. It's about like, hey, there's something that we want to do. We want to represent our guild and have it represented in the broader story, have it immortalized in where Splinterlands as a narrative is going. And so again, this is just a rough idea for what can be done in the future. I'm sure a lot of people will listen to this and be like, wait, we can do XYZ way more. And I don't, feel free to run with the ideas. My whole point is that I was thinking through, how could I get people in my guild, for example, much more engaged in what's happening? And I think if we had those lore stories, or when we get those lore stories back, there could be something tied in with lore and the development of the game, right? From a meta level, from the development of the game, from the lore that's happening, from the new sets that are being released. All of this could start to incorporate guilds and the players in this game as we are battle mages and put us into the story. And that would be way more motivating for many people than I think trying to get, more packs or burn more DEC or whatever the case is than someone else. So again, I don't know where this goes. I'm just putting it out there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if this is something that you would personally be excited about, or maybe you don't care about the lore. You just want to make some money in a play to earn format. That's cool too. I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.